I'm Karsten, and I'm a sophomore at Clahowya, so the school you're in right now. I don't know if you've ever been in high school, but it's a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of stress. There's all kinds of things that can stress you out during high school, and if you're in high school in here, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been to high school, you know what I'm talking about. Um, I did an experiment this last week. I decided to write down every time that I felt stressed. And some of the things I wrote down were really dumb. Like, one of the things that I wrote down is, you know that moment when someone opens the door for you, but you're way too far away? So you're like 20 feet away from the door, and you have to slowly start jogging. But if you if you sprint, it looks too desperate, and if you walk, it looks too arrogant if you're walking, like you're just taking advantage of them. And so this is something that stressed me out. So another another thing that I wrote down, another thing I wrote down is when you can't remember someone's name that you should know. Everyone's been here before. Someone's like, "Hey Karsten," you don't know their name. "Hey man," like, what are you supposed to say? And it's even worse when there's two people and you know one of their names. And then, "Hey, Karsten." "Oh, hey, Daniel." And, "Hey, man." Like, what are you supposed to say? And another one of the things for me is when I'm walking around school, you wear a backpack at school. I don't know if you knew, but, and the thing that stressed me out is when your backpack feels too light. Like, it's a weird thing, but when you're at school and your backpack feels too light, automatically you start thinking of all the things you might have forgotten. Like, I'm started going through my head, "Oh, I must have left my binder," or "I must have left my whole calculator," or all my textbooks. Then you started thinking through all the things you must have left, and I realized this is so dumb. And there's so many things that were worrying me. And maybe you don't wear a backpack every day like I do, but actually, I think we all wear a backpack. Every day when we're going through life, we're wearing a backpack and we're stuffing it full of the things that are stressing us out. We've got debt and death and divorce and bills, things that are weighing us down. And I actually think it's really hard to follow Jesus when you have a backpack weighing you down. So when you know that your backpack is heavy and it's weighing you down, and you know it's hard to follow Jesus with a heavy backpack, how do you give your backpack to Jesus? So in Matthew, it talks about Jesus says this, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest." And Jesus is saying that we don't have to carry the backpack of all our worries. And really, all we have to do is give Jesus the backpack. Just take out the stuff that's weighing us down. And I think we're going to have a lot more room inside our backpack to love people, to spend time with people, to have that one crazy idea that we're going to follow. And we're going to have a lot more time just to enjoy life. And if you've ever gone on a hike, you know what it feels like to have a heavy backpack. It's not fun. It is not a good time, and it's a lot more fun when you feel free and you can give everything that's weighing you down to Jesus. So there's a verse that talks about, maybe you've heard it, that God says that God takes care of the ravens, and how much greater are we than the ravens? And that got me thinking, you know what? We are taken care of because the ravens are taken care of. We are taken care of. And that got me thinking, I wanted to do some research about ravens. So I looked up interesting raven facts. I don't know if you've ever looked that up before, but something I found out is ravens are highly social. And some scientists even think that they can communicate with their chirps to each other. It kind of was making me think, maybe God is saying that when we give our worries to Him, that we'll have more time to be social with each other and to live in community. Another thing about ravens that I found out is that they spend hours building intricate, beautiful nests. That got me thinking, maybe if we're not worried about the things in our life, if we give our worries to God, we're going to have more time to be creative and create cool things. So I know it sounds like we want to give our weight to God, but how do we do it? I think all we have to do is pray right now that God would take the weight off our shoulders. He doesn't want us carrying it. It's too hard to follow him when we're carrying weight on our shoulders. And really, it's hard to pick up our crosses and follow Jesus when we're carrying on with one hand to our backpack that's weighing us down. So I want us this week as a church to be praying that we can let go of the burdens that are weighing us down, and that we'd be able to live free to follow Jesus closer this week.